Tara.
All right, that's good. I'll take mid versus high. Thanks very much, Brittany. Well, he's a noted fashion photographer. Today, Charles Gabrean is here with his latest travels and the photos to prove it. You've been pretty busy these past few months.
Well, I try to. I try to keep busy, especially with the economy the way it is.
Well, which I'm guessing is one reason you did not go to the Venice Film Festival, but went to New York City instead, where they had a lot going on, including the Yankee Stadium.
They did it. They're finally closing the Yankee Stadium after 80-some years.
So what was that like? You went out there.
It was so, this is the new stadium. That's what's going to look like. It almost looks like the original stadium.
I'm glad they made it look a little similar.
I like it too. It looks real pretty.
It's strange that they're right next to each other.
Yeah, it's right across the street. And that's how it looks now. I mean, it doesn't look like it did 75, 80 years ago. They remodeled it in 1973.
Now, was this the first time you'd been in the old Yankee Stadium? Or
Yes,
have you been
the very first time.
Really?
That's why I only wanted to go before they closed it down.
Interesting. So which game did you catch?
So I got two games. Once against the White Sox and once against the Tampa Bay.
Ooh, who's now going to the World Series?
The World Series.
Okay, so you got a beautiful shot from above, and then you got down closer to the action.
I got really close. And this is Jeter tying Lou Gehrig's all-time hit record at Yankee Stadium.
That's a great pick. Now, why don't you sell this to Sports Illustrated or something like that?
Well, I'm going to use it in my next issue, and that's the actual swing when he hits it.
Oh, look at that, Charles.
And then everyone stood up. I had a hard time, but...
Did you start yelling at him to sit down so you could do your work?
And then he's running around the bases. They were going crazy. They're yelling, Jeter, Jeter, Jeter.
Now, is shooting, usually you shoot for fashion, and you shoot a lot of celebrities. Was it different shooting sports and action?
Because it's faster. The models stop for you a lot of times.
Right, and then
they
kind of work it a little bit.
Yeah.
Jeter didn't work it for you?
No, he didn't want me around.
Did you yell and say, hey, Jeter, Jeter's Charles from...
You know what it is? Everyone's yelling. 80,000 people are yelling at once.
All right, so Shea Stadium, why'd you go here?
Because they're tearing that down also. Remember, that's where the Beatles played in the 60s. It's not as special as Yankee Stadium, but it's still special.
Yeah. And are you a Mets fan or a Yankees fan?
Oh, I don't know. I like them both, but I like the Yankees a lot.
Before we get to Les Paul, I know that you were out at the big event for the Suns out at the W. And I don't know how you do it at an event that crowded, because there are people everywhere. Or should we do Les Paul first? It says we have the W next, but maybe we do have Les Paul. Well, let's talk about Les Paul. You met the guy. Is he a little bit of a curmudgeon? Oh
yeah, he tells kind of like dirty stories in the show. He's 93 years old. I got to meet him before the show and after the show, and he was hilarious. I waited to get in the first row, and he said, "You want a good picture? I'll give you a good picture." And he flipped me off.
Did he really?
And he was funny. He was charming. He was the nicest guy.
And he can still play, can he? He had some sort of operation, but
in the early 50s, he had a car accident, and he had his arm fused so he could hold his guitar.
That's amazing.
And he's still incredible.
That is amazing. And then he signed this for you now.
And that's from the early 50s also, this album.
So overall, worth the trip to New York City?
Oh, it was incredible. I'm happy I went. I mean, there was only one Yankee Stadium. There's 26 World Championships.
That is amazing. We had the good fortune of going when the Diamondbacks were in the World Series. That was a treat. You also came back and apparently hobnobbed with celebrities like Brad Perry.
Yeah, there was an event at Fashion Square Mall for my studio, and he was hosting it.
Now, is this when he was with Janice Dickinson?
Yes. And everyone thinks she's kind of a monster, but she loves attention. There she is. And she was wonderful.
Now, I heard she took to our friend Brad.
It seemed that way. But but no, she couldn't be nicer. She was but she loves attention.
That's a cute picture with Brad. I love that. That's really cute. How tough is it when you've got an event like that with the catwalk to know how to frame it where you've got Janice and then kind of Brad off
I take a lot of pictures. Everyone's perfect. You know, that's why I have to work around it. And she knows what she's doing.
Right.
So she knows where you're at the whole time.
Now, do you still have your magazine?
Yes, that's why the next issue, Yankee Stadium, I'm going to retool my Charlton Heston interview. And I went to the Democratic Convention. We used that.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of good things. It's just hard to do everything myself.
Oh, you're only one man, Charles. What is your website? If I want to hire you for my event, what do I do?
It's my first and last name.com.
Charles Gabrean, Gabrean.com. Thanks for. I always love hearing where you've been and who you met.
No, and Yankee Stadium was so special. It was so. But you could tell it's an old stadium because even the hallways are narrow. So you're walking through it, and I'm happy I went. It was a real experience.
We're happy you went too. Dan, have you been? Did you go with Kyle or Tori when you were up there?
I've been to a game at Shea Stadium, but never Yankee Stadium.
It is neat.
We actually drove by it a couple of summers ago, but they weren't playing, so we weren't able to do that. So we're not going to be able to ever go there again. New one, maybe. Hey, real quick, looking for sort of a unique place to stay? How about this house? Do you recognize it? This is the old inn from Groundhog, where Bill Murray stayed. It's the Cherry Street.